Now we're going to conclude our discussion about technology and society in the ancient world by focusing on Mesoamerica more generally. We won't get into the particulars or specifics of ancient Olmec, Maya, Aztec, or Incan society. We'll look at Mesoamerica more broadly. When we think about Mesoamerica, I want you to identify the regions of Central and South America with that name, Mesoamerica. Now, in a perfect world, I'd really like to be able to slow down and discuss key aspects of ancient Mesoamerican peoples, like the Mayan. What's this calendar system all about? Why did they create that? Really interesting. Or perhaps the Aztecs. How were they able to engineer and design towns in the center of lakes? At the same time, they are practicing human sacrifice. They're whetting the appetite of the sun god with human blood. Crazy. Or what about the Incan peoples? Thousands and thousands of miles of roads they're building, high up in the Andes, in an area that's known to have much earthquake activity, plate tectonics, and yet these roads still exist today. Amazing achievements. But I think the one engineering achievement that maybe surpasses all and in some ways cuts across all these civilizations was their ability to farm in areas you shouldn't be able to farm. Now, much of this region is really wetlands region. And anyone that's tried to plant in the past and knows a little bit about gardening or farming, if you plant a seed in wet soil, good luck A, getting it to either germinate, or B, getting the plant to grow, because if it does start to grow, the soil's just too wet and the plant itself is going to develop root rot and die. What all these peoples were able to do, specifically the Maya and then the Aztec that would come behind them, were create these elaborate systems of agriculture known as the Chinampas. Now, those Chinampas were not floating gardens, okay? I want you to think of them as artificial islands or raised planting beds. And in essence, what they were able to do, as is depicted here, was to use and fashion existing materials that they had. They would take green wood poles, drive them into the bottom of the lake or stream bed, using the green wood because green wood is less likely to rot over time. And they would drive these poles every 5 meters or so apart to create, in essence, the outline of a rectangular box. To complete that box, they would use vines, plant materials, whatever it might be, and weave them together into this structure known as wattle. So that in between each of these posts, you'd have this wattle. In essence, what they've done is built a box. So what do you need to go in the box now? Soil. Where do you get the soil? From the bottom of the lake bed. And what they would do then is dredge this nutrient-rich soil out of the bottom of the lake bed and fill this planting bed that they've created, this artificial island that they've created. And voila, you don't need to call your fertilizer guy for more NPK, right? The nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, it's readily available in that nutrient-rich stream bed or lake bed. And what these peoples would find through this system is they would get multiple harvests over the same growing season. And with these multiple harvests, then, you had the benefit or ability to either put some of these materials away or trade. And just as we've seen across the other ancient civilizations of the ancient world, specifically the Egyptians we started with here, grain equals gold. He who could control the production and supply of food really could make the rules. Trade did exist across all civilizations, and we'll focus more on trade as we move forward in subsequent lessons and subsequent discussions in this course, specifically thinking about the ways trade impacts not only society or societies, but the technology that's embedded or created by these societies as well. Dr. JC signing out here from Tech and Society in the Ancient World. We'll move next in Lesson 2 in a little bit different direction.